Also this morning, McDonald's is dealing with a supersized backlash over a mascot making its first appearance in the U.S. The world met Ronald McDonald back in 1963. His friends made their debut nearly a decade later. On Monday, McDonald's unveiled Happy to Americans, while social media exploded with criticism.
Some call this character McScary and worry it could terrify the kids. Abby Clausen is associate publisher at Advertising Age and joins us at the table. They describe him, Abby, as an animated red Happy Meal box with its cavernous dark mouth and rows of large white teeth. But he's a character.
He's a character, you know. I mean, how many people think Ronald McDonald's a little creepy at the end of the day, right?
Do you think he's a little creepy looking?
You know, let me say this. I am not the target audience for Happy, and I think that's actually what's happening here. There's a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, this is a really creepy character. But, you know, you have to remember, most of the people saying that on Twitter are not the ones they're trying to reach with this. Incidentally, the French animation studio that created Happy also created the Minions from Despicable Me. Yeah. I think they know a thing or two about appealing to kids.
Yeah, I mean, is this just the Twitter haters having something to talk about?
I think this is, you know, people are naturally cynical sometimes on social media. There's some wonderful things on social media too, but there's some cynicism. It's also McDonald's. You know, people are pretty quick to jump on McDonald's with you know, some skepticism and cynicism, so yeah.
So they've responded with some tongue-in-cheek tweets.
That's right.
Do you think they're missing the mark here? Like they're saying, some people think we're cute, can't stop smiling about this Happy Meal. So they're clearly taking it all in stride.
Yeah, I think they're responding sort of just as they should. Just a little nod to that. You know, it's interesting. One of my questions here is, where's Ronald? Because he's always been, you know, their primary mascot. And we have actually seen McDonald's back off Ronald a little bit over the past, you know, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. He started doing more of the charity stuff. Then he came back as they were marketing more healthy options to kids. And I think, you know, that's really what Happy's intended to do, is to highlight some of the healthier Happy Meal options.
Yeah, the core of this is a kind of new marketing strategy.
That's right. You know, it's interesting because we think about mascots as like one of the oldest school marketing tactics there is. You know, mascots are like synonymous with like the 1950s advertising strategy. But we're actually seeing a little bit of a resurgence on mascots, and I think there's a few reasons. One, they don't get arrested, you know, unlike celebrities, right? They don't jack up their fees every year, and they also give a company an opportunity to have sort of a voice in social media that, you know, when you're sort of a faceless corporation, you might not naturally have.
Yeah, that's a good point. They don't get arrested.
They don't get it. Well, we hope not. I mean, that would be a story, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're not falling out of cars with no panties. You're right. You're absolutely right about that.
All right.
That's good, Abby.
Abby Clausen.
Thanks, Abby.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.